Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. Super excited to host a journal with me session and share some of my processes with you. So what I'm gonna do today is pre-plan a few pages and share with you, well, some tips or my methods as we go along. I'm using a Soumkine Notebook. This is a 120 GSM smooth 100% cotton paper. It's really good for stamping. It doesn't bleed through, and fountain pen ink as well doesn't like sit over or feather. So that's great. It's a good option if you're looking for a good notebook. So let's start with a fresh page and see how we go. All right, so before we start, I'm going to suggest a few supplies that you will need. Scissors, glue tape, what else? Scissors, glue tape. I have a stapler here which is stapleless and it's freaking awesome. It is from Harinacs. I will show you how I use it later. This is the new Galen leather Smokey shade. Really pretty. I just wanted to show you guys before I start. I highly recommend this for people who want something a little bit different. It's not black, it's not quite like grey, but it's like a smoky grey because you can see like the waves of the leather, the creases and all that, so it's really pretty. Just gonna put it aside after this show and tell. Pretty, isn't it? Alright, so other things you will need will be ink pads, because we're gonna do some stamping today, washi tapes, and of course some scrap papers and things like that, which we will go into a bit later. Just need to get my trusty page anchor. I really like to use this to hold my pages open, and it does a really good job at it. See? Nice. Now I'm hands-free. Alright, so where do we begin? I would like to start with the sides. So let's have a look at what I can do today. I know a lot of people ask me where I get my papers from. So many different places, ranging from flea markets, online shops. I will share some online stores that I shop from in my YouTube caption or Instagram caption as well. This is a genuine piece. I've been saving this because, you know, you always feel a little bit precious, especially when it's genuine vintage pieces, but there's no use keeping it in your shelves or your drawers if you're not going to use it. So one of the trademarks that I've developed for myself subconsciously is corner decorative papers and stickers. I just feel like it kind of nicely frames a page together. As a challenge to myself, one of the spreads that I will decorate will be one without corners, because I think after a while you need to mix it up, otherwise it will look a little bit too repetitive and redundant. So let's start tearing this beautiful piece up. Oh my gosh, I'm doing it, guys. I've been keeping this for a while now, but today is D-Day. So yes, there you go. That's already one corner. I'm gonna like hold it down because my fan is turned on. And typically I will use the other side on another corner, so there's some form of consistency in the layout and design. So I'll do that, and I'll save this for another day. Okay, I also saved one of the calendar pieces. This is today's date and I'll see how I can incorporate it. Okay, cool. Now we have some stamping to kind of organize. So I'm using the little stamp stores, what you call this, kind of like a acrylic stamp folder to keep everything organized. It's really convenient to flip through. I think I'll use the time piece. You know, very fitting because we are locked down. We're on lockdown now and time is all we have. We don't know when this will end. So let's just use that. I will also use some smaller pieces, so maybe like some stamps. This is my, what do you call that, leather accordion that I use to store my ephemeris. I actually sell this online on my own online store, Skybambi Stationery. If you're interested, I haven't launched this yet on its own, but it will be available in time to come. So actually there's already a stamp here. Maybe I will opt out of a stamp and use something else like this. The color kind of goes quite well, so yeah, let's do that. Some people also ask like, oh, how do you find the inspiration and what do you write about and things like that. Well, honestly for me, the inspiration comes when I look at a piece of stationery. It could be something like this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to use this in my spread and, you know, write something that correlates. So sometimes it doesn't even have to correlate. It's so fluid, you know, and I've said this in a lot of my YouTube videos, journal with me videos, that there is no rule, there is no, what do you call it, yeah, there's no fixed way of doing something, especially when it comes to journaling. This is where you can really let loose and get creative, and it doesn't matter if people don't like it, it's for you, you know, and as long as you like it, well, screw them. Lack of better words. Don't screw them, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I can't really multitask. I'm going to keep quiet for a sec and start planning it out, and I'll talk when it's necessary. Okay, I hope you enjoy this. Okay, so this is the staplerless okay, gosh, I feel like I'm so dyslexic. Anyway, this is how you use it. You just have to like press it down, and it only works on the edges of your paper and page. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit to show you. You see how it's beautifully like crisps, it beautifully crisps together like here. So it's not the most, what do you call that, secure way, but it does look really pretty, and you just have to make sure that you clip it hard through so that it sticks on or holds on to the paper a little bit better. So I'm just going to put it on the sides as well so that it's doubly, triply secure. There we go. So yeah. Okay, so I made a mistake here. I should have left more space. I wanted to do that. So I don't want to kind of cover the date, so I'm gonna have to move it somewhere else. Still works, but oh well. That's the thing, gotta kind of roll with the punches. So I still have like now too big a space here, and I like to keep things not too cluttered, so I'll probably use like a plain washi to kind of hide it. Not hide it, but you know, just to decorate the sides. I'm gonna tear it up a little bit so that it looks a bit rustic. Maybe a bit too long, so tear it from here. Okay, and then now I want to put something else here, like something small. Maybe a sticker, a plant sticker, transparent sticker. There we go. Oh, so pretty. Okay. Maybe one more, just for a little bit of consistency. There we go. Okay. All right. So that is one spread already. What I've not done is stamp. So maybe a small stamp here. Let's see what else I have here that we can use. It's kind of postal themed, isn't it? Well, most of my stuff is postal themed anyway. But these are Tim Holtz foam stamps. They're really handy, and the quality is really good as well. So I like their designs. Let's see what I can do here. Maybe it's something a bit French. I need an acrylic block for this, so this is where I keep a lot of my supplies. Is in the file bag. The craft bag is really quite handy. It fits so much stuff. Like, look at all these washi cards, and like, it's just amazing how much you can fit in here. And what I love about this is that it's purely like a craft bag. It's just, you know, if you need to carry your crafts around, this is the bag to get. This is like purely for craft. Yeah, it's not, it doesn't have the organizer capabilities, but if you want something just to store your stickers and papers and all that, then that's a good option. Okay, maybe this flower sticker doesn't really fit here after all, so I'm just gonna move it. Maybe move it up here. Yeah. Oh. Alright. So I'm just gonna stamp here. And this is a new brand that I discovered on Tools to Live By. It's called Cocoa Brown. They have like nice shades. It's a bit light. I like the subduedness of the ink. So I'll show you what I mean. Like, look at that. It's so pretty, isn't it? Okay. So yes, this is one spread, guys. One spread in about, what, 15 minutes? Usually it'll be a bit faster, but because I'm talking through, it takes time to plan. And don't feel like pressured into doing things fast, you know, just do it at your own pace. If it takes you an hour, it takes you an hour. Just enjoy the process. Okay, now we have another page to go through. And this time I would like a butterfly insect kind of theme. That's why I have my Tampographe Sardon ink pad, stamp. I just need to make sure everything goes. I think for this, kind of feels like too blocky. Maybe it can even stick out a little bit so it looks like a tad here. Let's try it out. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. Just going to round the sides. I'll try to round the sides. And then maybe cut like something like this so that it looks more like a tab. Fold it down and make sure that it's straight. Okay. So if it closes, it will stick out a little bit, but that's fine by me. Yeah, that's fine. Let's curve it a bit more. So this is the pitch I'm going to challenge myself not to decorate the sides. Oh, it really annoys me when I leave like a little gap here. Never mind. Okay, so see? Little tap. Alright, now what are we going to do? Alright, maybe instead of decorating the sides with paper, I will do it with this. Oh, too small. Need a bigger block. Let's do this. I've never used this stamp before, so I hope it works out. Sure that everything is okay. the time? Okay, I'll do the timing later. What I like about this ink color is that it's a little bit vintage looking. It's not like Stazon or VersaFine, which is very thick. So this has more of a distressed look. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You see that? That's the distressed look that I'm talking about. It's not like completely, what do you call it, even and flat. It feels like there's some shading. So this is my first time using this stamp with this ink pad, and I really like it. Alright, just put this aside. What's the time now? Okay, it doesn't matter. Just going to randomly fit the time. I have a habit of closing my ink pad and using it again and closing it again because I'm just so paranoid that it dries out. Are you like that too? Oh my gosh. It's a problem. Okay, so maybe like this. Okay. If you're wondering where I got this stamp, I honestly do not know. Yep, no idea where I got this from. Seriously, no idea. I want to say Blade Rubber stamps. They have acrylic stamps there. But honestly, no idea, sorry. So sorry. I really should keep an inventory of all my stationery and where I get it from, because I get so many questions asking me, where do you get that washi? Where do you get that stamp? I really don't know, guys. So sorry. Anyway, okay, so that's that. I also highly recommend that you clean your stamps once it's done, because you want to keep your stamps in the best state as possible so that they last longer, and then you get really clear lines. I'll show you what I use. This is what I use. It's basically like hand sanitizer wipes. It seems wasteful now to use this for my rubber stamps because we live in a world where this is like gold at the moment. Probably worth more than gold at the moment. Yeah, so just to show you what I mean, just like clean off the residue, but make sure it's a non-alcoholic wipe, okay? Because alcohol will like damage and disintegrate your stamp, so don't do that. Okay. Right. And once you wipe it off, you just let it dry. So very straightforward. And what I'm gonna do is just keep it on the block so that it's a little bit neater on my table. I like to keep things neat while I journal and work along the way. Just my little characteristic, I suppose. Okay, so I really want to use this stamp as well, but This is tricky because it's two, like it comes in two and you have to really align it. So what I'm going to do is, as a precaution, because I don't want to screw up my page, I'm going to stamp on a piece of paper and then cut around it and then stick it in, just in case. I'm just going to move this for a second. Alright, some space. Okay, actually, as I look at it a bit closer, I'm not too happy that the skull is not very visible, so I'm going to do it again, okay? Bye-bye! One more time, guys! Okay, one more time. And this time, I hope that it's perfect. Okay, fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Yes! Yes! Sorry. So happy. Okay, next. This is my test one. Oh, I just use it to get rid of the residue. Slightly faint, but yeah, pretty happy with it. I'm gonna continue. Continue. Usually when I have something like with so many kind of small edges around it or details, I like to put it into this machine. And basically what this machine does is it just puts a glue residue on the back, so it immediately kind of like covers all the surface. Just need to make sure that I'm getting this right. Okay, so what happens is it pulls it through. Can you see that? Then you tear it and it becomes a sticker. So actually, if you want to use this later, you can just cut this off, put it into your bag or like in between the pages, and then use it later. So now what I'll show you is I'm gonna peel this off. And it has like a sticky back. Just have to be careful with the smaller, like the antlers and things like that, so that you don't tear it off and then waste your time doing it all over again. So there you go. Oh my god, look at that, so pretty. So now this is a sticker and I'm gonna put it right here. There we go. So yes, this is how I make my own stickers. See? Alright. Cool. That took a while. Let's see what else we can do with this page. So pretty. Okay. So maybe another big piece. So let's see what else we have here. This is something I pre-made before. which I think might look quite nice. This is just like stamps on a piece of paper, which can be repurposed like this. So what I can do is maybe cut it out. Nah, actually, you know what? It's too big. There's too many big pieces, so I'm gonna save this for later. But yeah, I'm a bit stuck. Not really sure what to do at the moment. It's a challenge for me when I can't use like decorate the sides, and it feels a bit sparse. But alternatively, what I can do is maybe write something like a small quote here to make it look standalone, and then when I write the spread later, I'll use a different nib and ink. Okay, so I bought this shitty pen, and I call it shitty because it just didn't work. Like, for some reason, the ink wasn't flowing out. So what I've done is I'm using this as a dip pen instead because I really like the nib. But I need to find a quote to write on it. Okay, so this is where some people have asked, or a lot of you have asked, what do I write about? Where do I get my source of inspiration from? And I will have to say that it is Pinterest, and I've said it many times. There's so many good quotes in here. There's a lot of fluffy, like keep calm, carry on, like standard stuff, but there's also a lot of deep, meaningful quotes that you can find. I'm gonna find one on time and write it right next to my stamp. Everything can change in just one day. How apt is that? This is exactly our reality now, you know. Gosh. So maybe this is about COVID. I'm just going to use this inkwell from Botteletti. They have really nice inkwells and glass nibs and all that as well. So I'm just going to write here. Okay, so that's my little quote of the day. Where's the cap? Oh, there. Kind of like blended into this. So this wooden nib holder, pen holder is so pretty. It's from Galen leather. Very nice. Okay, I think I still need a little bit of embellishments. We have one more spread to go. Feeling a bit challenged because, as usual, I didn't plan this. So please bear with me as I figure this out. Maybe washi tape. Not washi. Maybe something to flip. Let's see what I have here. Preferably something not too square and doesn't take up too much space. Something small-ish. Okay, a bit blocky. It feels a bit blocky, but can do. Let's see what else I have. maybe one of these stickers. This is from Stickii Club. It's a subscription sticker platform. Maybe here. Yeah, okay. Alright, I think we are done with this spread. And fun fact, Stickii Club is actually the brand behind Bao. So this Bao, yeah, I think they started off like doing sticker subscriptions and stuff, and then they moved into creating day-to-day pieces that are absent in our lives. That's why it's called Absent Studio. It's pretty cool. Cool brand name. I like it. I like brand names that say something, you know, not just a name, but with meaning. So yes, this is the second spread. Now we have one more to go. And back to square one. Maybe this time a little bit more browns again. And you know how I love creating dividers. I'm going to use this. If you're wondering where I get some of these like vintage ephemeras, I actually got it from Blade Rubber Stamps in London. They have this kits. I don't know the brand name. I don't think it's made by Blade Rubber Stamps, but it's they just stock them, and basically it's reproduced historical pieces from World War I, World War II, and yeah, because sometimes, you know, when you buy genuine vintage stuff, number one, it can be a little bit costly. Number two, you might feel a bit precious about it because it is a piece of history, right? But when it is something that is reproduced, you are less emotionally invested in it, I suppose. So I highly recommend that you use recreated pieces instead, until you get used to it and you want to use more like genuine things like this that might cost, I don't know, £2 or something for one piece of paper. Yeah, something to consider. If you want to buy ephemeras that are not too costly and has been pre-cut for you, again, I highly recommend Yane. She has an Instagram account. I will also tag her. It's Paper by Ibsen, and she has different themes like architecture, history, music, royalty, things like that. So you will be spoiled for choices, although her pieces really get snagged up quickly. Look at my thumb, ew. Anyway, sorry. I have like a crafts person's hand in that I can never have pretty nails and manicure and all that, and I'm completely fine with it. I do not subscribe to that kind of femininity. Anyway, I'm going to use my stapleless stapler again. So I'm just going to clip this on. Ah, done. One more just in case. Ah, done. Yeah, I like the crinkle look and effect that it has. I think that's part of the charm. Yep. And I think this might go well. So I have a rub-on sticker here, which I would like to use on this sticker seal. Let's see how that goes. And the thing with rub-on stickers and what makes it so fun is you can really layer with it, you know. I have this little wooden stick. I forgot where I bought it. Of course I did. Forget again. But it is quite handy. If you don't have something like this, you can use a popsicle stick or like even a spoon. It doesn't matter. But before I do that, I would like to decorate the edge here. And I like that it has, you know, a common look with the color. Yes, I'm back to my old habits. I'm back to decorating the sides again. It's not perfect, but it will do. Don't be so bogged down with perfection. Have fun, make mistakes, tear things, ink things. Yeah. Because sometimes it doesn't cover entirely, and the back is sticky, it might stick to the page before, so what I like to do is just cut the excess off just in case. Okay, so we have this here. Nice, nice. And then now I'm going to stick this in the corner here. This is a wax seal shaped sticker. Nice, and I'm going to put a rub on here, kind of to give it some layer, and hopefully it comes through, it shows through. Okay, let's see whether it comes off nicely. Oh, almost. That's alright. Okay, let's have a look up close. You see that? That's what I love about rub-on stickers, the layering it provides. And since I have a little bit more, maybe one more here. Just gonna keep this in here so that it doesn't fly away. Going to repeat the process. Ta-da! Done! One spread, maybe a little bit more. Maybe I shall use some washi. What washi should I use? Maybe a big map, something with the same color scheme. So this is my washi card. Let's tear it out a little. Let's see what I can do with it. thing with washi is that after a while, it's so sticky that it's almost impossible to remove it without tearing it, especially with a big piece like this. But so far, okay. Let me see. Too bad it is upside down. It's not upside down. Move it this way down. Yeah, because you don't always need it to face the same direction. Sometimes I like to write sideways as well, so I don't want to waste this. So I'm just going to make sure I cut it in a straight line. Okay, this one I can keep it. Perfect. What was I going to do again? I forgot. Uh-oh, what was I gonna do? Oh, this, yes, like this. And the thing with washi is that, well, most washis anyway, you can pad off and put it on again and it won't damage your paper, but be careful because some are like super sticky and it will damage it. So yeah, there's some residue here, so I'm just going to cut it out. Done! Yay! So there's 3 spreads. Finito. And if I want to add more stuff later, I can, like whether it's like a little bit more stamps or like another postal stamp here or a sticker. When you work on a spread, it doesn't mean that you can't come back and revisit it, you know. You can always add on things later. But yeah, this is my 3 spreads of the day. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and I look forward to hosting more journal with me sessions. So if you have any requests or things that you would like to know more about or learn, please let me know. I'm so happy to share, and I just hope that we get through this time together, and you know, we are so lucky that we are able to have a passion like this, to fill out our time, something like this to bring us joy, and continue doing what brings you joy. Thank you and see you soon. Bye!